Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm checking my volumes. I just got back. The reason I'm doing this video so late is I just got back from South Florida. I was doing some baseball stuff with my son, and I've been driving all day. Last night, you want to know how I found out about the Trump shooting? Last night, I'm sitting in a hotel room, and I don't normally watch you can't even watch Trump, I don't think, on YouTube. It's on like Rumble. I bet you I've watched a total of, in this election cycle, a total of maybe 1 or 2 of Trump's speeches. But just by coincidence, something came across saying that Trump was going to be speaking last night. I pulled it up on my computer on Rumble. I'm literally sitting there watching it. I was going to go to a movie with my son, and I'm watching this. My son's taking a shower, and I'm sitting here watching this, and all of a sudden I hear that pop, pop, pop while I'm looking at it. And I've grown up hunting and stuff like that, so when I hear a gun, I know I hear a gun. And I watched it real time, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And even when I saw Trump pop up, I saw his ear bleeding, and it looked like he was able to walk. I've shot enough deer to know sometimes when a deer can get shot fatally and off of pure adrenaline run 100 yards and then they fall. And so what had me freaked out, because I saw them go and put him into the SUV, and what had me freaked out was that he was, wounded, something we couldn't see, but was able on adrenaline to walk to the car, and then that there was something worse. And luckily he was okay. But most of this video is gonna be, because I've seen so many things come across Twitter, I'm gonna show you some of the most fascinating things I've seen, some of the most unbelievable things I've seen, and there's a lot of them, and then I'll show part of them in DAI XRP. So, but first I want to get a couple of digital currency related things, and I'm gonna show you the most unbelievable video I've ever seen about XRP that ties in to the Donald Trump assassination attempt. It's unbelievable. We are living through the most unbelievable times I could have ever even imagined. It's unbelievable. This is an interesting David Schwartz interaction right here. Justin Sun, who used to work at Ripple, he says, reflecting on, this is from February 6, 2024. I don't know why it's just popping up. I've never seen it before. Reflecting on history is quite fascinating. Both Vitalik Buterin and I had interactions with Ripple. Interestingly, I managed to secure a job at Ripple and worked there for quite a long time, while Vitalik ultimately did not participate in Ripple's internship due to visa issues. David Schwartz had said, "We miss you. Imagine the great things you could have accomplished if you had stayed." I think they're just joking around about how he went on and did Tron and did well, and Buterin did Ethereum. I don't know if there's more to make out of that, but they were showing where Tron has introduced a gas-free stablecoin the same year that Ripple has introduced a stablecoin. Maybe they'll interoperate. Donald Trump is still going to speak at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville later this month, and they're also doing the Republican National Convention, which starts tomorrow. All right, this is unfreaking believable. This is from Chad Steingraber. Watch this. This is a guy named Brandon Briggs. I'm assuming he's a preacher or some kind of religious guy. Listen to this. He said this before yesterday.
All throughout, and I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking People say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming all throughout. And I saw Trump.
All right. Now look at this. Same guy, Brandon Briggs. Look at this video right here.
But I'm telling you, it's going to come through certain cryptos. And it's going to come, that's what I hear. And maybe it'll be through something for you, for something else, okay? But I'm telling you, I keep seeing XRP. And like I said, I'm not telling you to invest in it. That's on you. Do not say, hey, you told me to invest in it. No, I'm telling you, there's going to be something in my spirit, in my opinion, with XRP in the near future.
Boy, do we live in crazy times, or do we live in crazy times? Tucker Carlson also predicted an assassination attempt on Trump.
They called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times, and every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that, but I don't know how you can't reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, they have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them, they just can't have it.
And by the way, folks, I'm not weighing in on any of this stuff. I'm just showing you the most fascinating things I saw. Lots come out. We haven't seen everything. I'm just showing you the most interesting takes that I saw. This is a guy named Sebastian Gorka. Listen to what he said. He worked in the first Trump administration, I think.
Okay, about 12 hours past the event last night, almost. Additional things, analysis. Secret Service is culpable, and so are the Democrats. That's the 2 take-homes. And I'm fed up. I'm not listening to conservatives who say, oh, it's time for kumbaya, calm down. No. We, conservatives, don't have to do anything. We're innocent. We haven't dehumanized the other side. We haven't called Joe Biden Hitler every day in and out. We haven't said the threat to democracy is if the American people choose their own president. So no, some of these people are my friends, but you got to stop it. You got to understand who's to blame. Number 1, the Secret Service. Utter catastrophic failure. From the fact they kept President Trump in the kill box after the shooting happened, not knowing how badly he was injured, instead of whisking him away to the nearest hospital in an armored vehicle, exactly as they did when President Reagan was shot by Hinckley. It's just a standard procedure, and they messed it up. On top of having women who aren't even as tall as President Trump, who can't actually block him and protect him from fire, one of whom couldn't reholster her weapon 5 times as they were putting him in the vehicle. What is this? Where do they find these people? Is this a DEI hire? It's inexcusable, okay? If you're a personal security detail, your body has to be large enough to literally catch the bullets for your principle. That's why in the UK, we call bodyguards bullet catchers. It's that serious. And then to not clear the only building that has line of sight within 200 yards of the stage, I'm sorry, a 12-year-old knows to do this. How that happened, inexcusable. The female director of the Secret Service, I demand, has to resign today. That's the beginning. Likewise, the FBI is investigating this assassination attempt. The FBI that raided Mar-a-Lago and planted evidence that we now know, thanks to Judge Cannon, brought in those classified cover sheets to photograph and use as props and leak to the Washington Post. That's the agency that's going to investigate this. Never, never, never. Bring in the marshals, bring in the DOD, I don't care. But the FBI is corrupt and cannot investigate this. And then lastly, who's to blame?
All right, that's enough of that one. I want you to see this. Since Ryan Selkis is in crypto, this is him talking. Look, I am not saying this is what happened, but I am going to point out the things that I think make sense and the things that I think don't make sense. But he says, friends, they tried to kill him. This wasn't a lone gunman. Wake up. Jim Rickards retweets. This is a guy who was standing there and he's watching them. Okay, he's watching the guy on the top of the roof with the gun, and he and some other people are screaming and they're saying, "Hey, there's the guy. There's a guy with a gun up there. He's telling cops. They're telling cops." And then Jim Rickards says, eyewitness saw the shooter on the roof with a rifle crawling into firing position. He warned the Secret Service and police with time to spare. They did nothing. I'm not going to play any more of that. But then there was this. Well, what we'll do is we'll go into DAIXRP.com, and I've got several more things I wanted to show you where I'm like, this doesn't add up. And just unbelievable things that I saw in this whole process. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. We'll get back to full throttle crypto and XRP tomorrow, but for today, it had to be done. It's the weekend. All right. So